Hey, welcome to the Lehmann Terms Podcast. Glad you're watching, where there's no fluff, just facts. I got two really good guests today. These are longtime friends, associates now as well in real estate. They are the best realtors in Central Florida, in my opinion. And introduce yourself, ladies.
Yes, I'm Jennifer Daniel with Rosa Realty.
And I'm Jessica Aquino with Rosa Realty.
Both with Rosa, really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the same brokerage in Lakeland?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, Ricky's a lucky guy. So, okay, we're here to talk more about the manufactured homes, how all that plays out in today's market, and so you've been dealing with this now with me, you for years, but in other houses, but in manufactured homes. What's your big takeaway from the business we do, the clients we serve, and in general, the economy and how everything's playing out? It's a lot.
You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
So with that question there, I feel, we are in a market that is changing, especially right now when you have politics in the air that are ever changing every single day. I don't think people realize how much politics do play a role in real estate, because it plays a role in people's decision making. And we are seeing a lot of that right now in people's decision and moving forward with different real estate transactions.
Because there's a lot of fear and unknowing.
Yes.
Knowing.
But, and not to bring politics, but it's always there, and not to choose a side.
No.
But as somebody who, I'm 53, I watch interest rates go crazy. When my parents bought their first home in 81, 17%. We see it now at almost 7%. But the problem is that us as Americans don't understand debt and how that plays such a huge part in those mortgage rates. People think that, if we don't, we have to fix some of the problems now. It's going to be painful, because if not, it's not going to affect us so much, but our children are going to be in trouble in this country.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, look, this is my business. I wish we could just say, go back to 4%. But then my children are screwed if we do that somehow right now, because we're not fixing the $36 trillion worth of debt that a politician says, that doesn't matter. When I hear that, it's like, that song plays, right? If I only had a brain, because it does matter. And people don't realize how closely that's tied together.
Yeah.
Well, okay, just make it a little easier for you, because that was a really hard question with a sense of all that involved. So, working in manufactured homes now a lot for the last, almost a year, what's your takeaway with it?
I wasn't sure at the beginning. Until I
Really?
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what to expect, what to see coming. But the more that the time passed, I realized how much help it is for customers to get the affordability. There's a lot of people that don't know how the manufacture homes, the changes, or how updates on every time. So
It's how they look, right?
yes, it's something that it's now more affordable for people. So it's something that they can reach out. There's hope, especially that, I guess, because a lot of people want their own place, but they cannot afford it.
Absolutely.
So we are giving hope to people, and I think that's very important.
And, when you look at the median home price, what's it, $419, $420 in Florida?
Yeah.
And we try to be under $270. That's a big gap between $270. That's $150K. And when you look at the interest rate numbers and how that plays out, look, somebody who could buy a $700,000-$800,000 home will not settle for $500. They just won't. But our buyer, especially when 2 to 270, this is their price range anyway. And we go, we try to do as much as we can. We really do. You guys do as well. I mean, you know what the struggles are. And I think we just heard it before, where somebody buying $1 million home or $900,000 home, they're qualified more than likely, right? But our buyers are, a lot of time, they're borderline.
Yeah.
And it comes down to all the help we have to give in, concessions, and, we just talked about it, buying birds, right? Okay, that's another story. But we'll do that for people.
Yes.
Because what you said is hope. Like, my parents bought their first home in 81. I was 10. I don't understand the time, but you know what I really remember from that time? How hard things were. 10 years old. What the hell do I know about the world? I just remember things were hard. Mom was working 3 jobs. My dad was really sick. But we had a home from an apartment in New York City. It was different. But, you know, when they were talking interest rates years ago, we'll never, like if we went to those rates, this whole country would fall apart. But people were so used to 3% and 4%. And how often have you heard, well, we're waiting until that happens again.
Yeah.
How old are you? Okay,
Every
good.
day.
Right? And, you know, politics is a weird thing. Because if you think about it, when we had that other meeting last year at the Builders Association, 5.3 interest rates. So those people, for the same number, were buying a $300,000 home.
Yeah.
Now they're $260,000. That's a big difference
Yeah.
in our world, $40,000,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But the payment and all that, you know, and hopefully as things start to level out, and it's going to take time. Like, it's just going to be an interesting year ahead still. There's no, I don't see an easy or a quick fix or problem to it, solve to it, but this is the reality we have to accept
Yeah.
until something changes for the better.
Yeah. You know, with the interest rates, that's people's buying power there.
Absolutely.
The interest rates. But one of the things with what you're doing with the brand new manufactured homes is insurance cost is absolutely amazing on brand new manufactured homes. So now, okay, even though we have maybe a higher interest rate because what they are now, we have lower insurance, and then lower taxes as well too. So that all plays a role into that monthly payment, because that's where people are really honing on is what my monthly payment's
Absolutely, yeah.
gonna be. Yeah.
They have to afford it.
Picking up the
Exactly.
right location, it's important because, like you said, the insurance is low.
Yes.
Having no flood zone,
You know, I don't buy there.
there is, that's super.
Exactly.
Somebody brought me a really cheap mobile home park in flood zone A, and it's like, no way, dude, 2-story mobile homes.
No.
You know, but we do that for a reason, because, you know, flood insurance, I've seen it be $10,000,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So that house, though, could be a $200,000 house with a $10,000 a year flood insurance policy. How do you do that, right? So we're very particular, right?
Yeah.
We just had a meeting about turtles, okay? And what happens with them, because we're doing a client's project now. It's going to be $6,000 to $8,000 to remove one turtle from a lot he bought before he hired us, because they didn't walk it and check.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, all these things play a factor and a part in what we do as a business. You guys, look, we have meetings, right? Because people think what we do is simple. They see all the great social media videos, right? And no, man, there's issues. It's like whack-a-mole every day, because every file is different. Every lender is different. Every buyer is different. But,
Yeah.
you know, look, the one you just had pending, I know what the concession was. It's a little over 4%. I said yes, because they probably need it, right?
Yeah.
I could make it work. If we were at a different interest rate and things were flying off, maybe it'll be different. But I know right now, that was above what I factored in. I still did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because more than likely they need that money to close.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, some of them funds can be used to buy down the interest rates as well, and then that even gives you a better monthly payment. That, you know.
Yes, and
That's
that's
what
where it
it's
helps out
about.
to where they, you know, if you remember in a better climate in real estate that you were getting over asking offers because, you know, and then they want that back as a concession. We're not getting that now, and even if we did, appraisers are very difficult.
Yeah.
They don't want to allow that right now, even though it helps the buyer. Okay, as we've seen, that's why we have an appraisal library and all these fun things, right?
Exactly.
Because it gets, you know, there's a hassle in every part of the business. When we buy the land, when we do the work, when we sell it, and then the appraiser at the end comes in and has no real guidelines, can do whatever he wants. That puts all the work, like we put in hundreds of hours per deal, and this guy comes in and says, I can do what I want to do. That's not fair to us, right? I mean, cold breath, right? He wouldn't even change his number where he's supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, I sent that whole package off to the HUD secretary's office like I said I was going to
You
do,
did?
right? Put his name on it, showed him what he did in 23, that he used the land value against me when he's not supposed to. His comments were in the text on that, you bought the land for cheaper. No, that's not how you're supposed to do it. So And I wasn't going to do that until he was very arrogant, right?
Yes.
He wouldn't change his report. He's supposed to, because there was a tidewater, right?
Yeah.
So then the VA did it for him. That's not how that works. So then I stopped. I took the time to make a nice package, and I sent it.
Yeah.
And I sent that appraiser the whole package too. I wanted him to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Okay, because so look at all the work we put in, and we gave the guy the home, but it was correct. The value was correct.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, and he was using numbers from 23, really, like things a single wide. You know, so how do you work with stuff like that, right?
No.
So and
Why
now working with me
55
is all
plus?
roses, right?
She makes it up.
Working with me is all sweet and roses and beauty.
No.
Okay, but it's hard what I do every day,
Yeah.
right? And I have to have a balance too. And I'm trying to win as a team, keep the business moving, and give people a house in a very challenging economy.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
just realize I don't sleep a lot because of that. Right?
Well, the reason that I like to work with you or continue to work with you, or I've been working with you, is just because, yeah, you cannot be easy sometimes, but the same way, like we all have our issues too. But at the same time, passing all these things, I still see that your main focus is to bring, homes to people that need it. Like the affordability, that is the main focus at the end. So that's what it makes me look forward all the time.
But you help with that, right? We're aligned in the sense that we serve a community. And I use the word because people who aren't aligned with that, they can't stay. Because, if the mission is important, if it's just the check,
Yeah.
the hours we put in aren't worth it sometimes, I'll tell you, right? I'm just going to tell you. But how many times, I remember what really drove me to love this business. The first time I sold a home, and they wrote a letter to me about how they envisioned their 3-year-old, and I had a 3-year-old, growing up in this yard. It was in Auburndale, right? And I put a rope swing in it. I normally cut it down, but I saved it, right? And I had my daughter in that swing, so I brought her to the project a few times.
Oh.
And the man told me, him and his wife, about how they envisioned their daughter. So they weren't the best offer in that house. It was still over asking because that was the time. I remember calling the realtor, and she's like, "Tom, they don't have any more to give." I said, "I didn't ask for any more. I'm giving them the house." Okay? And then I fell in love with the business and not the check of it. Everything changed. Okay? And when I did that, I saw people, it was just a completely different thing for me. Because now we go to manufactured housing, I still walk these houses. Right? I still look at them. I still make comments to people. And they're not nice comments to us. It's things we should see and fix automatically, right? Because it upsets me that they didn't take the same pride in what I do, right? And those people aren't here anymore, are they?
No.
Okay. And that's a hard because, you ever hear the statement, what and who got you here will not get you there. And so you saw that, right? So we have to always think about everything in total, but in the end, if we take care of the buyer and we serve them, everything else normally works out. Because we argue, we fight, it's family, right? I'm going to be really frank. I have a lot of women who work for me, and they all begin with J, right? There's 5, and I'm 6 because I let them call me the jerk. Fire, right? But unfortunately, at times I have to be that way. I can't make everybody happy. My wife says I don't make her happy most days, so we're good, right?
Yeah.
So now, okay, as we move into this, like we're almost halfway through this year. We're in the summer, which is slowing times for us. How do you fix that, ladies?
Well, I kind of beg to differ on summertime. I've always been busy during the summertime and during the holiday times. I've been in real estate 8 years now, and my cycles go because during the holiday times, everybody else is vacationing, lolly, whatever, and I'm grinding it, marketing, making sure people know what is available. And come January, I'm closing 5 to 10 deals. And then during the summertime in Florida, I feel because this is our school let out time. So most of the time families want to move during the summertime. That's when they're making decisions like is my kid going to go to this school zone again this year? I mean, right now, this market this year is just a little different because of outside forces that we have no control over. But it's still, I mean, we just put one under contract, the other day. So, I mean, people are still out there buying and making these decisions.
Oh, absolutely. But for me, the holidays, when I was just doing investments and different, I doubled down my marketing from November 1st through December because a lot of investors took off.
Yeah.
So that always set me up for a good January. But I always found, and last year was the anomaly, the difference, because we sold more homes in December last year than the previous 3 Decembers. Because who wants to go through the mortgage process at Christmas?
Yeah.
But last year, the election happened, things went crazy. But I think there's still fear, and for me, the summer has always been a little slow, because then there's vacations. Normally by June, people want to know where they're moving to in July.
Yeah.
Because school starts in August here. It's not
Exactly.
like the second week in September, like up north where I grew up, right? And they're still in school till late June.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, it's not as hot there. Different.
Well, I'm a true Floridian, so I don't know about
Well, I am
nothing up
now
north.
because you can't get me to go cold weather. So, what is how does that look for you? Do you think the same way?
Yeah, I think we're preparing. We have to prepare what is coming. We need to, it's moving, like you said, going back to school, so that is the time to give them the options. To show them what they can do, what they can afford, what we can bring, giving them the hope of what is coming,
Use hope a lot.
Yes,
It's a good word for
because
people.
I learn a lot of people that comes to me, they are like, you're wasting your time. You say it's not going to happen. And, so for me, they don't have any hope. And I'm like, let's try one more time. And that's why I said, it's a lot of hope. You bring hope and it works out.
And if you notice, like bringing our preferred lender, she's the same way, right?
Yeah.
So you see, like, though I am the way I am at times, but I try to surround myself with people who, you guys are great people, but hope is the word. Who we serve is the word. And so that's what makes us a little different in the sense that everyone thinks that way. We could argue, fight, and get along as family at that point. It's going to be that way because we're all going to have difference of opinions for sure. But in the end, if we bring hope, if we serve, if we do our jobs that way, all the other issues are just a little bit of noise, right? They're inconveniences in the sense that we made homeowners of somebody who probably shouldn't have or couldn't have if we didn't do everything we did, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's the concessions, the extra this and that, whatever, buying birds. But to do that, to put somebody in a house is worth it.
Yeah.
For me,
Oh, yeah.
I know for you guys, right?
Yes,
because it's not the
exactly.
check in the end and that from us.
No.
Walk me through your favorite deal that we've done together and what made it meaningful.
I would have to say, so my favorite deal that we've done together was actually on Lunar.
Oh my God.
Our little problem child there. It was just in, a little rougher area there.
And the hurricanes didn't help the area either. The chickens running around.
No, it was definitely, but it was in a price point that was very affordable. And
It's a good home too.
exactly, I mean, brand new manufactured home. I mean, I believe her insurance on there was just $900 a year. So I believe her monthly payment was around $1,700. So brand new manufactured home, got that there. We gave the concessions, but she was so grateful because she looked at so many options in that price point, and she said they were unlivable.
Yeah.
She's like, I could not picture myself living in any of these places. And she came to one of the open houses, looked at the manufactured home, went with her agent, shopped around other places, and she said nothing compared to that home and at that price point. So she was a first-time home buyer in her late 40s. First-time home buyer, late 40s.
We're seeing that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we are. That was a good. I lost money on that home, but it worked out in the end because in the end, look what we did, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I didn't even care. Like it worked out. Okay, that's part of my job. I'm going to win and lose. I already know that.
Yeah.
That's why we do so many deals because guess what? I have some extras to lose on. If I was only doing one or two at a time, I couldn't do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what my remembrance of that one is different? I remember, so I forgot how many agents are in your brokerage, and I'm going through where I like to shop Facebook Marketplace one day, and I see the house, but I didn't understand. I think it was in Creole, the writing. But then I forget what, it was in a different language on Facebook Marketplace. And then I scrolled down, I thought people were, because I've had houses scammed before on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was your brokerage information, one of the other realtors. I'm like, man, they're doing it everywhere. But I think that's what sets you guys apart is because you're such a big group that work really well together.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think there's as much, there's probably infighting like everywhere, but it's not as, because I see a team working, and that's really helpful because in this market it takes a big team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I feel when you have the leadership in
Guidance.
place and they set the culture, which our broker has definitely said, hey, we're here as a team, we work as a family, and it resonates throughout all the other agents for sure.
There's a great book, Culture Matters. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the best deal that we did together, was Omaha.
Ooh,
Just because 5 days before closing,
Venus to the rescue.
Venus has to come.
Oh, that was a
They
good
were,
one.
yeah, they were crying, we lost the house. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, they cannot do that. He didn't pay attention, the lender. And
Details matter,
yeah,
okay? Like, I have to let somebody go because they can't watch details. And I have to be able to trust them to send stuff without me looking at it.
Yeah.
But it matters, right? Think about it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't read their bank statements. You're a lender, dude. That's your job,
Exactly.
okay?
Yeah.
But you know what the difference is? That lender doesn't care. They're just a fee,
Yeah.
right? And that's the truth with a lot of people.
yeah,
It is. We've
yeah.
seen lenders try to make something happen that really was not there. These people should have never got a pre-approval letter, and it puts everybody, I want to say, at risk.
Because you take the house off the market, all the work you
Exactly.
put into it, and to not have the correct, I've been through that so many times. That's why I asked for all those things, right? The desktop and this and that, because I want verification. Remember, I want to see that okay, that's the right response, okay? Because I've been burned so many times. Like, there was a time you could print those pre-approvals online.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably still can, but that's somebody who wants to throw 100 things up on the wall and hope something sticks. That's not a way to do real estate
No,
because you've
it's not.
impacted people. People have incurred costs. You've taken a house off the market. Another family doesn't have the option to buy now,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And that's really does our business a disservice for all of us.
Yeah. It does the whole real estate business as an industry a disservice when, a lender's just out here, just like, oh, let me see if I can make something happen, and there's no, and later on, once these people have already put out money for inspections or this or that, and it's like, how did you even qualify them once everything starts? Because what you do in the dark comes to light.
Mm-hmm.
And
And not only that, look what happened to that lady that she called me over there in Port Rich area,
yeah,
that she bought a house. They gave her the pre-approval. She couldn't afford it. She couldn't afford more than $900 a month, and she was in a house for $1,700. That she was losing the house. She needed to sell it because she literally lost the house.
But that's somebody who thinks about the commission,
yes,
the fee, and not the person. What's the point of giving them hope in a house if they can't keep it?
Well, she was able to pay at the beginning to show that there was escrow money, but they didn't check on everything to know that she couldn't afford it.
But that's,
That lady lost the house.
Yeah. I think that one of the reasons why I like to work with certain people is because I know how they're detailed. And well, first of all, you know me. I'm going to check details, right? I'm going to ask questions. But once that group is established and we know, like Venus does it, we know this person does it, right? It's important because then you don't have to be so worried about something. You know you're going to do your job, you're going to do your job, they're going to do their job, because it's more than just a check for people, right? But if it's the other, I call it mercenaries, right? That's what I call them. They're just there for the money.
Yeah.
And they weed themselves out quick. Like there's a group of lenders I won't work with. I don't care,
I have a list
right?
of.
I'm
yeah.
learning that now.
Exactly.
I'm probably
yeah.
on people's lists. I'm sure, right? So when I used to sell homes, my attorney used to get a lot of calls about
The blacklist.
probably, right? I'm sure, right? The jerk list for sure. But because I sold everything in a trust, they thought I worked for him all the time. They just never realized. He's like, I got a call about you. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? Because you hold people accountable,
Yeah.
you know? The only time I've showed up at a house and a realtor didn't lock my house up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Right? You know, like, look, when I showed up at that one house that day, I asked everybody who did it. Turns out my cleaning lady did it. So I told her, I said, you gotta lock my house up, lady. You know, I love you, Beatrice, but hey, like, you know, I mean, she got it just like nicely like everyone else, right? Because she'll beat me up. You know, so what do you think buyers are most surprised to learn about these manufactured homes when they first step in? You talked about the insurance already. Well, that's before they step in.
I think they are really surprised that they are able to get a house owning the lot, the size of the house, the look of the house, because everything needs so many upgrades, and how big the house are.
You know how hard I worked on that to get that other deal so we can lower the price point for people? I didn't make more money like I could have. I lowered the price. Think of Allison. That's a big house for on an acre, 1,850, 4-bedroom, 260 something, 265.
Exactly. Yeah.
We couldn't have done that a year ago. That was my goal of switching, because though that matters, right? Affordability.
Yeah.
Because if that was 325, it's a different game.
And that was the first thing that you said. Right now we have these prices, but my goal is to drop to have between 225 to 275.
I don't want to be there
homes.
outside of Orange County and Hillsborough.
Yeah.
I want to be 270 and under,
Yeah.
because that's a good price point for people as best we can, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. Don't get me wrong, right? That's why I say we have to
It
control
is.
cost. We can't control anything else. We have to control cost. But my goal was, when I was doing all that negotiation, because they didn't want to give it to me. They were, that company, love them now, mostly, they were forecasting 25% less production this year. My volume could give it back, and they didn't want to work with me correctly at first.
Yeah.
And it got worked out, right? I didn't put more in my pocket. I lowered the price. Because people sell those houses for a lot more than I do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Different dealerships. I think one of the, winning factors here and what you do is you take out all the legwork for people, because most people, when they purchase a manufactured home, they go to a dealership that you see on the side of the road. And when they go there, the dealership makes them go out and find their own lot. Most people do not know how to purchase a lot. There's so much
there's
behind
a lot
it.
of stuff.
I mean,
Turtle survey, right? We just talked about that.
but there's so much to looking at the right
Yeah.
land to put a manufactured home on. And I feel you take out so much of all this guessing, legwork, and everything else for people, that they have just a package. You put the homes on the land, you set up if it needs septic, if it needs well, if it don't, if it's on city. All the legwork is done for someone.
I thought of it that way. Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, that's a big plus
And a learning.
to people.
It's a lot of learning.
It is. It
Even
is.
look at the last one we just did on Allison. Just being 2 streets back needed that different well, which
Yeah.
was $4,800 more, right? I told my project manager, just use the same well estimate. You know what he did? I did it in writing. I said, how the heck did this happen? He's like, you told me to do it. Look here. I was like, damn, he's right. But now I learned over there, right? The next one, the hammer mill, I said, hey, we got to check, right?
Yeah.
Everything changes. We just have to remember that. And counties are not good at telling us things.
No.
We're doing a deal for somebody in Pasco, and because of all the hurricanes, anything that's unplatted, and I think it's like 20% of their land is still unplatted out there, has to have all these different surveys. The original number was going to be $5,000 to $6,000. We shopped it around, called all the people we know. We're down to $2,500 for the guy now, right? But they didn't tell us. I called up Champion. I got their order canceled. They're going to save that unit if everything works out. If there's any price increases along the line, we're going to take care of it, okay? Because that unit went to another property, and we put his money back into his account, okay?
Wow.
Because we don't know what's going to happen with that survey.
No.
I didn't have to do any of that, but I did. You met that lady Jeanette, remember?
Yeah.
Who someone used my name and robbed her of $10,000. So not only are we doing all the work for her, we're getting her financed now, and we picked a charity that she likes over by her, this church that we're going to both donate to. And we're getting her through the whole financing process right now, because someone literally used the name that we do what they do. We don't take people's money.
No.
But this is how it works. She went to an investor meetup, a women's investor meetup. She was sitting next to one of my students, and people I've done a ton of business with, who had no clue who she was. And then she told both of them what happened.
Wow. Yeah.
Things happen for a reason. Then I didn't get to talk to her that day. I called her. I was ready to cry on the phone when she told me what happened, because someone used we can do exactly what they do, my name, my company, took her $10,000. Seriously? But you got to remember, that's why this industry, investors, and everyone has a bad reputation because of that, right?
Exactly. I mean, and to be honest, out there, I see a lot of times people try to give you money. I take no money whatsoever. It goes to escrow. It goes to, we always use third party. I do not touch nobody's money. And so many times people are like, oh, here, let me give you this. And I'm like, no.
Nope.
But if you're working with people that are dirty people, they will take them things. Yeah.
So I've had people want to buy units, they don't even have the land yet, have offered to wire me money. I'm like, what do you mean? We can't do that, right? Well, I want to order the units now. What's the land look like? I don't have the land yet. So, there's setbacks, there's these rules, just wait.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're buying from somebody else. I'm glad that they are, because they became a real headache to my team, because I'm very careful with that and the team and what we do, right?
Exactly.
If it takes me to deal with a client and they're not being correct, because there's a lot of women here and they're talking to Jeannie and other people wrong, I don't want your money.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, because alignment up front. If we don't align here, when later on there's going to be a lot of problems. And I believe in that more and more as I've gotten older. I don't try to force an issue. Just forget about it. Let it go.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth my time or your time.
Yeah.
So, how do you personally handle the conversation when someone says, why not just buy a traditional home instead? Well, that's an easy one for me, but.
I think I will show the pros and all what they can get.
Well, the price, right? Price what's entry level in Polk County now? About 400?
I think we're still at the
80s,
348 right now. Yeah. But the thing is, when people say, oh, why not just buy a traditional home? Are you going to get the lot size that you want? I see that right now. People want land.
Yeah.
People want to be able to have the chickens. People want to be able to have the cows, the cats, the dogs.
They should have bought Luna. They were just running around, right?
I know, but I'm just saying that's what people want. They
Yeah.
want land. More than likely, you're not going to get that with new construction.
Well, the cookie cutter.
Exactly. Your cookie cutter side by side. You're paying an HOA. It's very rare that we even purchase a lot that's on HOA, But,
Well, the Lakeland one that we're under contract with, that's defunct.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, and I think even Allison, when we first had a small HOA, but then it went away as well,
But
too.
you know
Polk
what's crazy?
City, no?
The other ones I bought there,
Polk City,
no one
no?
ever.
Polk City has no HOA.
Has no HOA there?
No one at Allison. We bought 3 in that development already. Never had an issue with it, and only the last one there was some HOA stuff. But the last one was a better title company. They actually checked things, right? So, I think the cost of those communities too raises prices.
Yeah.
But look at Polk County.
CDDs.
No, never, ever. Those are ka-ching.
Exactly. Every, almost a new construction has a CDD to develop the community. And with brand new manufactured homes, guess what? There's no
don't have it.
CDDs.
But those are fees people don't realize that the builder passes on to people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm stuck with impact fees. I remember you calling me last year about the builders and, how they were going to raise it. Well, Polk County ran out of water, though.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I put in a lot more wells than city water in Polk County for sure, but I'm paying those impact fees. And I'm still putting in wells. Because they're going from, 11 to 13 to 16 over a few years. At least they phased it in.
Yeah, they phased it.
But look at Orange County, $25,000 for impact fees.
Wow.
Okay? It's going to go up.
Yeah.
All right. I think when I started doing business in Marion, it was $1,500. Now it's like $6,500. It's in 3 years. Wow. Okay. That's just the cost of doing business, and people don't understand that. Even appraisers don't understand that, right? That's why what do? We give them every receipt for a reason.
Yeah.
Because I saw, if you noticed, in the appraisals, it says what they thought the improved value of the land was. Oh, hold on, stop. You're talking the land and everything we did to it is $40,000. The septic and well are 30 sometimes. They don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool. So we always say we're in the business of solving problems and not just selling home. What does that mean to you?
To me, that's means a lot, because one of the things I live and breathe on is solving problems. And I feel that not everybody has the problem solving skills or to figure stuff out, but especially the problem that we're having right now, which is affordability.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're able to offer somebody an affordable option, and especially on what they want, some people don't want to live side by side. They want that land so they can have the things there. Why not be able to find that and give them that option?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the same. It's about giving them the options, because that's what they need right now, affordability. So give them the options. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. I think interest rates ruin everything, obviously. But to give people options on where they live, what they can have, what they can do, it's so powerful because you have choices, right?
Yes.
If you feel you're stuck, you know what you don't have? You don't have a choice, but you don't have hope then because you're stuck, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that I think we're losing very hard in this country is the dream of home ownership. People think they can't get to it. And I'm trying to get the first lady I ever sold a home to, a manufactured home. I wasn't a dealer yet. I think I told you, she sold a home and bought a house this year. She did everything that by the book correct. House looked amazing. I'm trying to get her in the studio to talk about it. She walked away with $48,000 in 2 years.
Wow.
She came to the table with $0. Wow. She has $48,000. She bought another home, right? Didn't use all $48,000. She was so proud of that, right? That's the American dream. She was in her 40s, like low 40s, okay? Mom of 3. That was the first home she ever lived in. First home. All apartments in Tampa.
Wow.
And she was, I think the biggest thing she was proud of is what she saved over those 2 years from renting. What her mortgage was and what her rent was. Rent in Tampa was like $3,000, her mortgage and everything. She was all in with bills at like $1,600, $1,700, right? That's how you do things, right?
Yeah.
Because it's stepping stone. Because when you rent, do you really take care of it? Probably not. But if your plan is to sell it, and the land's going to appreciate, the units are not the old type, so you're going to have a value retained.
Yeah.
And she made money. She walked away with money.
Yeah.
And then she did exactly as planned out. I mean, it will never happen again probably in my life for me. But just to see that person win like that and realize, hey, I can do this, I can do more, right? Because she didn't think she could do it a couple years ago. Because it's hard.
Yeah.
You have to make the choices. She was commuting from Brooksville into Tampa. Okay? But guess what? She wasn't paying $3,000 for just rent. Her kids had a yard. It was safe. That's hope. That's the American dream, right? It's not. I'm never going to say it's easy. It's hard, because most people don't want to put in all that work like she did.
Yeah.
Because now instead of, like she said, her commute used to be 8 minutes, now it was an hour plus each way. But her kids were in better schools. I'm not saying Tampa's crazy, but Tampa's crazy at times, right?
Yeah.
And 3,000 wasn't a big place either. Each child had their own bedroom for a change. Never happened before. They were in a 2-bedroom apartment for that money too. Her in one with the youngest, the other one's in the other. I grew up that way. I never want to go back to it. I think my kids are spoiled, right? They have their own bathrooms and everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
I had my own bathroom at 20.
Mm-hmm.
It took me all these years. Now I have my own bathroom again, finally. So, what challenges have you faced working in this niche? And how have we handled them as a team? Oh, God, this is a good one.
I will think it's financing and what it's required by each kind of financing to see what they need. Everything is different, but at the end, working together, we make it happen.
And
Teaching, guiding them.
So look, we know the majority of ours are FHA.
Yeah.
I think we had 2 conventional last year total, 2. I remember one came in, I was like, what the heck's that, right? It was just weird seeing those words. So we know the rules. They're not going to be any different. And it's funny how we have to tell the lenders, right? Hey, you're going to need this. You're going to need this.
To me, that's one of the biggest challenges in the real estate realm is people not taking this seriously and not treating it as a business and not working on their skills, knowing the products they're selling. I've done manufactured homes for many years, even before with you, and I take the time to understand, okay, what do I have to do in order to close a manufactured home? What tests need to be done? What reports need to be done? But really taking the time to understand the whole process. And I feel so many agents that come through, lenders and agents, I always feel like I'm repeating myself and having to educate them. And then some, for whatever reason, don't want to listen, which I don't understand why. I'm like, look, this is not my first rodeo, and it probably won't be my last rodeo, but I'm trying to help you and help your, client in the end.
I laugh at that because I'm remembering, I think it was Oak Ridge, right? The guy was telling us how many homes he sold, how many of them are brand new. Well, that doesn't, it's like, oh my God, here it comes, right?
Every time you talk to him.
Yeah. You look at it where we're kind of like the experts in this, and we give away the information, and they don't use it, and it's so frustrating because it just causes problems later because, they don't take the time to learn. I spend $100,000 a year on education now, more than I spent on college and grad school. I use it all the time. And we give this information away to people.
Yeah.
And then it's so frustrating when they don't use it, Some of the people I've taught the business to, they're doing their very first couple of deals. But they're a realtor, and they've been in real estate for a decade. So they buy 3 lots on the same street. They develop them all at the same time in a high-interest economy, and they're going to do their own permits for their first 3 deals. Well, this should go really well, right? And I told them, hey, and in a hard county too. Whatever pitfall or landmine, I call it, you hit on all 3. Guess what? Hit them, right?
Yeah.
Dude, why don't you just listen? I didn't have to even tell them that, right? But I did. I took the time to say, because I've done it. Like I did 4 on the same street. It took me 20 months to sell them all. Market absorption couldn't handle that. And it was a better economy time too.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. People just don't the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. At this point in my life, I say, there's water. If they don't go and quench their thirst, forget it. I'm out, right? Because you can't fix them.
Yeah.
So, because they've been in real estate, Tom, I've been in real estate twice as long as you. Yeah, you have. Why you ask me for help then? Right? But if you're going to take it, at least listen, because I've made these mistakes.
Exactly.
You've made the mistakes. You've made the mistakes. You've watched things blow up, and then people just, it's an ego thing, right?
Well, one of the things, working with you that you have pointed out to the whole team, you give back and educate every single one of us in this process. And to me, that's what makes us work together better as a team,
Yeah.
and makes the process so smooth. That's why other people can't do what you're doing at the scale that you are doing it, because they don't take the time to hone in on them skills.
It's not because I'm a piece of cake to work with. You know,
I don't know. Well, I've never had a problem, but yeah.
you know, I'm me. I care about everybody who works with me. Because of the goal we have, right? And so if I learn something, I freely give it away. My belief
Yes.
is that if I hold on to it, I can't grab whatever comes next.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I started believing that way, things just became a lot simpler for me. And look, I know I'm not easy. I'll never say that. But, you know, look at what we're doing is not easy. And there's a lot of the problems, right?
Yeah.
Because I care. I really do. We don't live in these homes. People do. This is a
Exactly.
home they love. And we provided for them. And all that takes a toll, like on my sleeping. Like, I don't have off days anymore, right? It's like, what the hell's that? Excuse me, you know? But one day, right? I'm trying to be like, stay in good health so I can be the easy grandpa one day.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You think I can do it?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. Not the easy one. Oh my God. What if my grandkids are worse? Like, my kids are great kids. Because I'm hard on them. Well, my daughter does not thank me yet for it. My son does. She calls me, Dada say no. So what advice would you give to another agent considering getting into, you know, the affordable housing, manufactured housing space?
Learn. Every day learn. Get updated with everything. Listen.
Yeah. Well, as far as what I would tell somebody, you know, first step is know how to buy land and learn about the land rules, who you need to contact to check on properties, flood zones, learn the flood zones.
And don't trust the MLS, right?
No, at all. And that's one thing, as far as land goes, one of the things that really stuck years ago, a person came to me and said, Jennifer, I bought this piece of property and come to find out I can't do nothing with it. Jennifer, I bought this piece of property and come to find out the whole thing's in a flood zone. And it's just sad to me that, you know, people get put out money into the land, and then they can't even do nothing. And, you know, I have to break their heart. Well, look, it's not worth this now. Now that it's unusable land or it's in a flood zone, it's only worth this now. So, you know, just educating yourself on purchasing land, who you need to talk to make sure that it can be developed, and if it's flood zones. And then from there, with as far as manufactured homes, knowing the difference between a mobile home, manufactured home, and modular home, what are the difference there? And as far as lending goes, what's the steps in the lending process on a manufactured home? Because it is different than traditional lending, for sure.
I mean, it's easier when you're brand new.
Yeah.
But it still
Yeah.
has some quirkiness to it, right? On, you know, everyone expects that we have all these reports because we have a CO. And we don't, because then the county just says good or bad.
Yeah.
If they give it to us and we hand it over, then they'd be responsible. And how many times have we said that to people, right? It's like,
Yes. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, that's part of the education process. But you guys did this. No, the county did it. And but you need to do it. But that's why, you know, you heard in the last meeting we had that we're going to start doing those surveys ourselves with our company. One, they'll recertify it and redo it for the buyer. It'll be cheaper too, right? And they do a real good survey.
Yeah.
But think about it, we talked about that to help the cost and the speed of it.
Exactly.
You know, and they do a really good job. And that's the important part, right? So they're going to make sure everything is correct. And I love working with them. They've been amazing on their details.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like, oh, you're 73 feet 2 inches. I'm like, okay. You know, okay.
But, you know, it comes down to building that A team. And that's what sometimes you have to do. You have to weed out the good and the bad. But when you do find that good, hey, I want you to be a part of my team.
Yeah, you know, I can't do this alone.
No.
Look, if I've said this to people here before. You know how simple my life would be? I could do 2 of these a month with like a person in the office probably, right? But we're not doing an impact. And that would impact my pocket only, not the community, not what we do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think I've threatened that before, and Jeannie's like, "You'll never do that." I said, "Shh, don't tell him that," right? But it's hard. But I think we have a really good team. People care.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to fight. It's like family. We're going to have our issues. Of course we are. Like, you're crazy if you think everything. How many times do you hear, "Oh, man, your life is simple," because they see social media? Okay. You don't really have to work anymore. It's like, what? I think I work harder now.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Because we know when you have a business, you have to keep it and grow it and sustain it. There's different, like way different now. Like the things that I have to do today, I'm not saying it's not fun, but it's different.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Like I swore I would never go back to college. I'm in school all the time, it feels like. Right? Because that's how I'm learning the different,
Exactly, yeah.
what the next steps are.
Yeah.
Because there's no way we're here today if I don't invest in the education that I didn't believe in a few years ago. Like my mind was so, I don't need that. And then I joined one, and I'm like, oh, I need this. I'm in trouble without this.
Exactly.
Because then when we pivoted, we didn't get crushed like other people in 22, 23. And I'm thankful for that. So, we've talked about this a lot today, I know, but this is a really pointed question. We're not just listing homes, we're impacting families. How does that, impact the way you show up for work every day, or change the way you show up for work every day?
Well, just
I see the smile.
to wake up and to let them know that it is possible. There is hope. That I think that's what it motivates me every day. For example, right now I'm dealing with a lot, a buyer buying a lot, and I'm just having a hard time with this person on like putting escrow or doing some stuff until I do research, until I know that it's going to work for him. I don't want him to lose any money, and like she said before, the idea of what he wants to do in the future with that lot. Because right now it can be a plan just to buy it, another thing is what he's going to do in the future, what it can happen in the future. So just to wake up and to be committed and to try to find all the answers, that's what it get me going every day. Not only for him, it's for most of my clients. I wake up like, what I'm going to do for them today to make it work, for them to find something good.
No. As far as for me, every day that I get up, it's one of my biggest things is I want to be out here fighting for the people. And I know I might sound like Morgan a little bit for the people, but that is my motivation because I've seen so many people get, pardon my language, screwed over in real estate. And that's my motivation, is to help people every single day not get screwed over, get the best deal that they can possibly get, and at an affordable price as well too. So that's my biggest thing, is making sure, almost like I get up and I'm like, I'm going to get up and protect the community today from scammers. I mean, just the things that happen in real estate is unreal. So I feel, because some of the transactions that I've been dealt with throughout my real estate career, I'm like, who has came across this? Why did it end up in my lap? And I remember one time I had multiple transactions that were and everybody was like, well, we came to you, Jennifer, because we knew you could find the solution. And I was sitting there and I had multiples of these deals and it was stressing a little bit, but I felt in myself, I was like, Jennifer, God's probably put you in this situation to deal with these transactions because there's nobody else that could help them. So from there, it's just been, that's my motivation every single day. I'm like, I'm going to help somebody today.
Yeah. I love that. And I'm a Christian entrepreneur. I probably fail every day at it. Like my language alone probably has my. I should put money in the jar. Just write a check, okay? But I'm better at that than before, at least. And you know, the motivation to help the person, right? To, you know, you learn something like, okay, this is. We've all prayed to God for strength, right? Why do things think He gives you hard times? It's like muscles. You have to use them, and then you're stronger for the next time.
Yeah.
Because He doesn't give you what you want when you want it, because you probably couldn't deal with it or handle it, right? You know, we asked to win the lottery, like, but everyone who wins the lottery goes broke anyway. So if He teaches you skills and makes you strong, you're able to do more, then you should be able to accomplish more in life. And there's nothing more worse than wasted potential. It's like, I can tell you the people who have cycled through this business, who have called me afterwards and realized the opportunity they screwed up, okay, because they didn't take the chance to learn everything here. But thank me for what they did learn, at least.
Yeah.
But you see the potential, but you can't make them want it more than they want it. That's why I say, lead a horse to water. No, hey, there's water, drink and come back, right?
Yeah.
But again, strength, you ask for it, there you go. That's why they give you the hard stuff.
Exactly,
Because you've learned
yeah.
how to work with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a skill that you know, when I was younger, there was things I was really good at, and that's what I stayed in my lane with. And if something was hard, I would quit. I thought real estate would be easy. That would be easy. Oh my God, right? I just didn't want to like lose my house and new wife the first year. It was real, you know, because I made like $4,000 only, total, not profit, total. Like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, and I better educate myself. I better
Exactly.
learn, because I had a real big. I couldn't ask for help then. Now I have a big circle to ask for help.
Yeah.
I have no problem calling people and saying, hey, what do I do here? You know, I had an acquisition manager back in the day who thought I was the smartest person. I'm like, no, I have a lot of friends who will answer my questions.
Exactly.
Because I think differently in the sense that it's not a transaction, it's a relationship. If I have to pay you $1 and you pay me $1, it's a different relationship. If we help each other whenever needed, different story. Even my lawyer's like that, right? Although he did try to charge me and too much recently, and I yelled. But he'll pick up my phone and answer questions.
Yeah.
So, because you need that. My CPA, the lawyers, because that's how we fix problems. It's different, right?
Exactly.
I've called them for other people before.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're problem solvers, especially at this level, because
Yes.
there's headaches everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, and to be successful, is to know your resources. You know, because we're all human. We don't know everything.
Nope.
But knowing how to reach out and use the resources around you and having them mentors as well too
Oh, yeah.
is I've been so blessed throughout my life to have some of the amazing mentors that I have had.
Some bad ones, though.
And no, you being one of them.
I didn't mean
But
me.
I mean, well, you still learn from them mentors though.
Oh, well, the mistakes, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you, I know, so Grove Ridge now is 29 houses in the 6 years that I've lost money on. I know them all. I can tell you what went wrong, why. They're embedded. Because I used to have a sheet on my desk. I wrote the mistakes and problems so then it wouldn't happen again. Because, you know, it's one thing to get bit the one time, but if you keep letting it bite you,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's your fault.
Well,
now.
that's the definition of insanity,
Yeah.
doing the same
Well,
thing.
I was insane
over.
with people here, wasn't I? Because I was like, come on, just do. Okay. And then Jess got mad at me and said, why don't I have houses like this?
Yeah.
Now you do, right? Now they're just championing different problems. So,
Yeah.
okay. But he cares. I'll tell you that one. He's going to go change those lights now, right? But that's the difference with the team, right? You have to care. It just can't be a check. So one thought as we part, if you had to tell somebody, do it, don't do it in real estate, just go first.
If you do it from the heart, if you really have, you know, the meaning to help without expecting, I know we all need to get paid, but if you put different priorities of helping or doing good, that's it. You know?
No. For me, if anything you do, if you're going to do it, make sure that it's something that aligns with your values, that you're passionate about, and the money will just come.
It does. Yeah.
I mean, it 100%. If it aligns with everything that you want, it'll just come. And so for me, if real estate does align with all them things inside of you that what you're looking for, then the money will come. It never feels
always-
like work to me, you know.
No, because you love what you do. And
Yeah.
I can say that when I was younger in the other businesses I've owned, I made a lot more money. It was crazy. I blew it like a dumb. I didn't know. Because I grew up so poor, when I had it, I didn't know what to do with
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
I had like 11 cars. 11. That's like, it was, and other dumb stuff, right? I could just, like, I laugh about it now.
Yeah.
Because I grew up, I didn't know how to hold on to money. I didn't know how to, like, we never had any. So what the hell happens when you get it? Like,
Exactly.
you
You
just throw it
spend
away.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a machine that kept working, and then things changed. But I was never happy either. I had a lot of it. I lived in Miami Beach. I don't think I had to really go to work too often either. It was kind of like whatever. But I wasn't happy because I was money motivated. My neighbor had a bigger house than me. I was pissed. And I had I had 7 bathrooms. I grew up in a 1-bathroom apartment most of my life. My house in New Jersey with my parents, 1 bathroom. And the guy had a bigger house, and I was pissed. And now, since that's not my driving force, I love what I do each and every day. I'm happy with everything, even with all the problems we have.
Yeah.
Because it's a different motivation at this point.
Yeah.
And I think I grew up finally.
Exactly.
Well,
And-
at least a little bit, right? A little bit. I grew up, and so it's okay. You can say a little bit, right? I'm okay with that. I think someone told me last year at 53, I finally have some emotional intelligence. I'm like, all right, well, at least better than none, right? That's a step. I think it was my wife too.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, you know, like you said, even for me, when I was younger, money was a driver, or things, material things.
Yeah.
So I got to have this, but at this point in my life, nothing is more priceless than peace. Yeah. I would, anything.
Being
just-
grandma. That's
Yeah.
so.
Well, grandma, but I mean, just to have,
Yeah.
just be at peace with everything. Yeah.
You know, I've learned I can't control everything.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I don't. Last year with all the hurricanes and the craziness, I think I learned to just have this patience, and instead of pushing an outcome, when I needed to make a decision, make it. But if I didn't, then don't make it. But I used to have a personality where a problem came up, I fix it right now. Whatever. Maybe it wasn't the right time to fix it, but I knew it was coming. Let me deal with it now. And that was a big change, that I can let things, for the most part. That's why I think I have my email set for 1 minute delay now, which is the max. That's crazy, because you know how many I've sent that I want to take back? Like, oh, let me take that back and wait, right? Think about it.
No, Tom would never send an email like that.
Oh, God, you should have seen them.
I think I sent him a text and I said, please don't respond. Wait a little bit.
But you know what? I'm glad you feel you can do that, right? You know, I'll never say I'm easy. Lord knows I'm not, right? But this business isn't easy.
No.
And this business at scale is even harder. And especially when there's no path I can go look at, because no one's doing this like this, right?
no.
So it's like, oh, I have to not only watch this whole train of stuff we're doing, but I have to cut down the woods in front of me to create a path.
No.
It's exciting, I'll tell you that, because what we do is new, right? And I think that challenges me more to constantly grow myself and get better. So, you know, I'm just going to say I thank you guys for working alongside of me, right? Because we're a team. We do great things for people, and I'm really happy and proud of you guys are here with us.
Yes, and I just want to say I'm forever grateful for the mentoring that you have poured back in to me, especially.
But you do it to 170 agents as well. Like, I remember when talking about you moving over there. I'm like, oh, I called you the mother hen. I said, that is perfect for you.
Yeah.
Because that's your thing. Like, you just give that back. And, you know, you see that too.
Yeah.
What's your parting words over there, lady?
No, I don't know. It's what you were saying before. It kind of made me think a little bit. I came from a family that have too much, that have a lot. So I live comfortable, I live good. I didn't need to think of anyone else's needs because I have everything. when I moved over here, then I got married. We have business, we have money, we have everything. But then life changed.
Mm-hmm.
Life changed. I was with my 2 kids, and I have to learn different things. And it was my choice for this change that came. But that's when I learned, I had everything, but the happiest times wasn't there. But now what it make me happy is what I did to learn to give my kids, how to change for my kids, and what I was able to do for other people.
Right.
So what I'm doing now for other people, it's, that they don't have. Now I appreciate it a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So those things change a little bit.
But so the role model we are for other people, especially, I look at my son and I just wonder, how did I raise this young man? Because there's no way I could have done that, because he's exceptional in all he does. We have issues for sure. But I think of my childhood, and the difference is I'm present. I teach him, I hold him accountable. And, we didn't have it easy when he was younger either, because we were changing businesses and struggling and all that. And he's seen the growth and the change. And so the fact that he witnessed all that and he realized that hard work matters. When I hear those words from him, and him being super smart anyway, and he says, oh, I know that if I work hard and with everything else, I'll be fine. Put the effort in, right? Because when you're given something, you don't appreciate it. That's why I give my kids nothing. Tell them I give them free love. I tell them I love them every day. I'm going to be mad at you today. I still love you. I don't want to talk to you though, but because we grew up that way, right? Things are one thing, but that feeling, the emotion that you give people, whether it's your children or others, and what you learn along this journey, then you share it with people. Because when you had it easy, you didn't appreciate the easy life.
No, nothing.
I had it easy. I didn't appreciate it, but I appreciate this more now because I worked harder for it. I had to change everything. So I thank you once again. And hey, everybody, so thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.